Favorite topic, it caught you off guard last time, and on the bear situation. Look, I read you last year's numbers, and try to help my colleagues and everyone have time. The Category 1 damage and nuisance is up 867%. The killing of farm animals has really increased. And again, this is kind of district related. I know that the black bears have been in every county in the state, which is kind of mind-boggling in itself. Damage and nuisance up 160%. Category 3 is up nearly 50%. And as I said before, I mean, the typical, or the goal is of all of us is the safety of our constituents. And, I don't get the paper. I'm going green, actually. This is my last paper. Another Sparta resident loses beloved dog in a bear attack. There was 2 sets of these this year where families lost their dogs. Wednesday in Sussex County, we had a lady mauled by a bear. Luckily, the neighbor was there. She's bitten twice, from my understanding. I know you guys will be investigating, just simply getting her mail. Now, we should be able to get our mail in safety without worrying about being attacked. I told you my situation, not that many years back, where a bear almost got into my house chasing my dog, where my dog was simply outside relieving itself on the lawn. Yesterday, I went to a favorite little restaurant in Sparta, New Jersey. Didn't even get with my wife, didn't get to order my hamburger or beer yet. Manager came over, he says, "Hey, Assemblyman, did the owner reach out to you?" I said, "No, I mean, that's our job, that's what they do. And we got a problem bear, and it's scaring our help." Because when they go out to put the garbage, the bear, I mean, look, it's a great restaurant. If I was a bear, it's probably where I would be. Yogi Bear and I'd probably bring a picnic basket, because they have the best hamburgers and the best steak. I won't give them a shout out, but people might be able to figure. So this bear's going in and out. And now the customers see the bear, and they're either trying to photograph it, which we know cannot end, possibly not end well, or they're afraid of it. So long story short, you might be getting a call on a hotline. They're calling the Sparta PD. And I'm like, look, I said I love seeing the bears, but I'm just telling you, Commissioner, and I know you report to the governor, and I know, as a cabinet member, you follow the governor's policy. That's what you do, what we do. That's life. But the governor's policy is dangerous, and it's just a matter of time. We did have the one fatality under Commissioner Martin, and that's when I had served with him, and that turned out to be an unfortunate incident. And from what the commissioner told me at the time, the bear was just hungry. It wasn't diseased. It wasn't. So I'm just, there's a report on your desk that has to be approved by you. And this administration has stressed, leave it up to the science. And believe me, a lot of people have a lot of respect for you, sir, on following the science. And what's the status of the report that recommends the bear hunt to keep things under control, or what's your? That's the first question. But if not, what ideas you have to keep mainly my constituents, but at some point to come into everybody's neighborhood, just because they're reproducing very, very rapidly. Thanks so much.
I'm sorry about the straws.
The what?
I'm sorry about the workout with the straws.
Oh, the paper ones.
Part of what I love about this job is the diversity of the issues, right? From flood control to climate change to plastics reduction to wildlife management. We do a lot. You and I have spoken about the concerns relative to the absence of a bear hunt. There's not a question that the bear population is growing, and you see that in the numbers. The reports are available on our website. What I would say about how we're approaching the issue of population management is, thankfully, through the legislature's work, we received a new appropriation last year that has continued into this year for what we call the BEAR plan, the Bear Education and Response Plan, where we have worked on a number of issues relative to public education. I hope that you've seen and your constituents have seen all of the public ed that we've put out. We've been working with, we retained a marketing firm using that appropriation in order to help folks understand the behaviors of these animals and how they should behave in response. Bears don't want to be around people, right? They are scared of us. And so there's a number of ways that anybody can manage their interaction should they come across a bear. And then, in addition to that, there's a significant issue with the attractive nuisance that bears gravitate towards. I wonder if the restaurant with the great hamburger is securing its garbage as well as it could, and have bears learned that they can easily get into the garbage behind a facility, and are we properly securing garbage management facilities and cans in and around areas where there is a high bear population?
And I get that, Commissioner, and so I definitely don't want the businesses or the homes to be the victims here. I mean, that's the easy route to say is the restaurant. I went over, I saw the dumpster myself. It has big lids on it. You know, when I was commissioner driving to Trenton, I opened up my door and a bear's chasing. I did nothing to provoke that bear other than letting my dog in from going to the bathroom. The lady going to get her mail wasn't looking to fight the bear. I think she thought she would have lost, and the thing that saved her was somebody with a horn. So we got to be very careful. Look, I'm telling you, and believe me, taking the politics, I don't want to be right on this one, because if I'm right, somebody else is going to get hurt or killed, or more dogs or animals are going to get killed, which is a lot of, thank God there's only been one fatality, multiple injuries, and many animals. So I'm just sounding the alarm, because we're going to be right at some time, and there's going to be another tragedy or many tragedies, and next time it could be a little kid who's overpowered. I think the report was only 150 or 200 pound bear. That's a big bear to be wrestling with. I said the bear at my house was probably 500 pounds, but I've seen many of them. So you're right, we need education, but I'm telling you, these bears are waking up, or they're awake now, and they're really roaming. And even with the safety things, like, I don't think she had honey when she was going to her mailbox. I know we'll get the report from your office, but they're dangerous animals, and they're doubling in population. And just, the facts are on my side, quite frankly, that of what your facts are on my side, that we're having an issue and it's growing every single day. And I'm just trying to, no pun intended, nip it in the butt before the seriousness of it. And there's a report of scientists telling you how to solve that problem that is being ignored by the governor.
I do appreciate that, and I'm certainly not ignoring it. What I think the question for all of us is, and it's a policy question, quite honestly. Right? The issue is that there is no right now that you're identifying to your mind. There's no bear hunt that is limiting the growth of the population, right? So what I think is important to acknowledge and for us to all think about is that a bear hunt is a surrogate for population control, right? A hunt for sport, a hunt as a way of recreating, is a surrogate for an active management strategy, right? The idea being it's cheaper for the government in managing the bear population to permit a recreational hunt to limit the growth of the population as a policy matter. It saves money. The hunters will pay to eliminate the bears, and the government doesn't have to pay for it, right? And I think we shouldn't confuse a hunt as a form of recreation with an active management strategy. We should recognize it for what it is, which is a government cost control measure.
I couldn't agree with you more, because that's what your scientists say. It's a management method. They're not saying it's a sport. Most people, look, I don't hunt bear myself, but people who do hunt bear eat them or make so. But the report is that it's a management, not just out shooting trophies by any means. But hey, if you have a better idea, but I'm telling you a guy who, I don't know what county you're in, Commissioner, but I'm a guy who's on the ground and seeing it every single day. And then anybody who's reading the newspapers are seeing it every day too. I mean, that was the middle of the day, the lady, I guess Wednesday, walking to her mailbox. And look, I spoke my part, you spoke yours, and I get the policy, but I want to make clear that the wildlife expert's recommendation was for management, not for a trophy bear on a wall somewhere. It was to thin the herd.
I recognize that.
Yep.
All I'm saying is that I think we're in the budget committee, and so what I'm pointing out is that the hunt is a means of limiting population that the government doesn't have to pay for.